But every year, thousands of women put their careers, promising careers, on hold to start a family, hoping to return to work at some later point. Well, how do they do that? How do they get back to work after an extended break? Joining us now with advice for women looking to re-enter the workforce, Fox Business correspondent Cheryl Casone. She has written a book, author of the new book, The Comeback: How Today's Moms Re-Enter the Workplace Successfully. Cheryl, so good to see you.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Was this inspired by your mom?
It was, yes. My mother was a working mom. She stayed home with me, and she wanted to maybe work part-time a little bit, but when my parents divorced when I was 4, she had to go back full-time. And a lot of women face the situation. Look, 40% of marriages still end in divorce in this day and age. And I never suffered. My mother, we had time at night and on weekends together, and so many women now that I've interviewed, I interviewed over 100 women, told me that they felt guilty that they were going to leave their children to go to work, and that their children were going to suffer, and their children were going to get into trouble at school. And the opposite is true. In fact, according to Harvard, women, especially daughters of working women, they make better managers. They make more money. And so I found all of this in my research. Now, I did interview over 100 women, but in particular, I wanted to go and see some of these women in person. And in particular, Credit Suisse, one of the banks here in New York City, is bringing these women back into the workplace. Take a look. Giant Credit Suisse was one of the first companies in the nation to actively recruit stay-at-home moms. Stacey Cooper, a Real Returns graduate, class of 2014, remembers her feelings coming back to the corporate world after staying at home for 3 years.
I knew I wanted to be in that charged, collaborative environment, so that part was easy. But then when it actually happens, yes, you're terrified. What if I don't remember how to turn on the computer?
Going back to work meant leaving her 3 kids, but she knew she was ready.
I felt like I had a lot to give to my children that would actually, it would be helpful if I was also working in different ways with my brain.
The 12-week program introduces participants to mentors, offers on-the-job training, and gives guidance on how to reincorporate yourself into the workforce. Current class member Julianne Tatham quickly made friends.
Each of the women that were in the program really brought something into the office that, that was just different. It wasn't necessarily better or worse. It was just different than maybe if they had have stayed working the entire time.
Real Returns leader Lisa Monaco says moms who want to come back should be confident in their skills.
Many women feel that when their kids perhaps have moved on and they're ready to now reinvigorate their career, they wonder whether or not they have what it takes to get back into the workforce. And what I would say is, don't sell yourself short. Think about the skills that you've continued to build over the years, even while at home.
All right, so Credit Suisse, one of several banks, I want to say, here in New York that are doing these programs, but these women are coming together, they're meeting, they're going with mentors, and they're becoming valid members, valid employees of these banks, and they're succeeding. And there's a double standard. I'm going to put it out there. There's a double standard when women go home and stay home with their kids and then enter the workforce, re-enter that workforce.
What did Mike said in the break? He was like, women are better at, well, you can fill in the blank. I would say everything, but
I think women,
being the father of 5 children, almost 6,
and husband to a great wife, women just can do things better than men, so many things. So entering back into the workforce, I think is so great for these women and great for the companies, because when you can go out and help raise children, which I'll say is the best job in the world that most of these mothers do, and then to come back into the workforce and be able to balance that, you become an extremely valuable employee. So I think it's...
Well, there's more to that, because what women have as far as skills that they can put on their resume, I want to tell them that, is multitasking, organizational skills, patience. If you're a manager, if you can negotiate with a 4-year-old, you can negotiate with a screaming 22-year-old in the office. And they bring those skills to the office, and it actually helps corporate culture.
Yeah, the irony there being that millennials act like children.
But, several of them do. That's true.
Cheryl, I see it all the time. Just with, on one side, we have organizations are really having a hard time finding skilled talent, and certain companies are really starting to attract women and looking at maybe offering more flexible work arrangements. Did you see any big, like challenges with when you interviewed all of those women? What were some of the biggest challenges that they said they felt they would have coming back into the workforce?
Well, it was themselves. You know, these women, all of them told me that they felt insecure. What do I have to offer? I'll tell you what you have to offer. You have the skills that I just gave you, but also, you know, you think that the company's doing you a favor by hiring you. What they all found when they went back to work is that they were doing the company a favor because they were coming back in and being dedicated and coming in and making sure that they got the job done because they needed to get home to their families.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Mentors
Cheryl.
for other women, too.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you, Cheryl. The comeback, ideas on how to re-enter the workplace, CherylCasone.com as well. Cheryl, she's got it covered. Twitter, Instagram, she's everywhere.
All over the place. Thank you, guys. Thanks,
Thank you
Sagan.
so much.